Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Onward VR Master League. My name is NightFiree with how many E's you want in it, really? It's 2. It's 2 if you really gotta know, but it's however many you want in your heart. Sending out that tweet blast, letting people know that the game is live. Today on the docket, today on the old rostero, we have Ronin and Fierce. Neither one of these teams has been... Actually, Fierce did get cast, and they're on a bit of a winning streak. Ronin, kind of an unknown squad, not playing a lot of games this season yet. Over on there, not so much unknown players. Sri Lankan, Flipinski, Naktum, Oliviov, Foreign Duck Slap, and Mobstar 76. A few of those names you may recognize from being in competitive lobbies, being around a while. This team is fresh, but these players are not. And they don't have any MMR yet, so this match is kind of important. It's going to determine how much they can slip away with. Over on the other side, their competitors, Fierce. They are playing fiercely as of late with a 3-game win streak under their belts. It is Sinbird, Dak Krakow, Vegas, Rush of Light, and Sticky. Really curious to see how this match goes. This could be a very competitive match. And frankly, I think it's what we're going to see. I hope Ronin... what I don't want to see is some inexperienced aggressiveness. And I'd like to see more tactical play, use of smokes, utilizing your cover, that sort of thing. Stuff you see out of high-end teams. Last-minute moves, early-minute pushes, stuff like that I'd love to see out of these guys. And we'll see if we're going to get that here in a short minute. I'm going to be hopping into the rounds. You can just give me 1 second. Such professionalism out of Fierce, that the likes of which I've never seen. They're aware of the 10-man bug. They leave an extra man out. I have to compliment them on the professionalism. 1 second. Wow. Such savvy maneuvers out of this team. On the Volk, we are going to have Fierce. The home advantage is going towards Ronin, so this is their pick, and we are going to be hopping into Downfall to start things off. Go ahead and update the scoreboard for you there. I'm not quite sure what to expect. Yeah, we should be hopping in shortly, just to kind of confirm the rosters here. Over on Ronin's team, we do have Foreign Duck Slap, Naktum, Olivio, Too Old to Game, and Sri Lankan. Is he... Is that a new addition? That's a huge pickup. I think actually Too Old is in the reservists. Let's double check this on our roster list here. But I'm not sure if he's not, then that's a big pickup by Ronin. Maybe that's the linchpin, the start of this team. Take a look. I don't see Too Old on the Ronin roster. Pop down to reservists. He is a reservist, so that's a nice addition to have in there. They are using a reservist, so Too Old is going to be the one they're bringing in to kind of sub in. And just kind of for those curious, the way that the rosters work right now is that basically you want to have a more than 5-man roster typically, so that you don't have scheduling issues. It's easier to get games picked. You can do challenge matches, things like that. But we also have what's called the reservists. It's a big pool of players that are pretty skilled. Some of them capable of carrying a team pretty easily. And if you need a sub for your game, you can pick out of that pool anybody that's available, anybody online. You can reach out to them, say, hey, I'd love you to cast my game. Can you please come in here and do that? And then they come in and they cast. Or they come in and they play, rather. Let me update the title as well. I realize that that is not correct. Usually we catch that. Thank you for those that did point it out. Ronin verse Fierce. We're good to go. Still waiting on a few members to join in over on Fierce's side. I wonder if we're having any connection issues. Seems like Tool is unable to ready up or something. I'm not sure what's happening here. Might be running into some tech issues. Either that or they're trying to reorganize their name list so that it's a Christmas tree. I'm not quite sure. I have no idea what's happening with that squad. Anywho, thank you for tuning in. If you are just stopping in, much appreciated. If you have any constructive feedback, please send it my way in the Twitch chat. I'd love to hear it. Although I am on a 6-minute delay, so I'll hear it when I want to hear it. Anywho, we have a host of games being cast this weekend rather. A lot of action on the Master League channel. Tonight we have Fierce and Ronin and Fierce. That's what's coming up. At 8 p.m., so in 2.5 hours, we're going to have Blaze and Legionnaires. That'll either be on here or on VR Master League 2. Either way, we will direct you accordingly. That'll be cast by Silent Knight and Steven. Then tomorrow, sharp, bright and early, Legionnaires versus Animal House. Buxton Water will be taking up that game. And then Sunday afternoon, Boss Fight and Cannon Fodder. Again, yours truly will be casting that. You should be coming straight... you might be coming straight from Buxton to that one. Although that is a little bit later, so probably not. But it's about 2 hours after Buxton's game. Then, after that, we have Buxton coming in for SMC versus Mob Squad. And then, at the same time, Stone Cold versus Sinister Pride. So we have a lot of good games being cast on the Master League this weekend. They're gonna be scattered about on the Master League 1s and 2s, so make sure you're checking the Discord, checking the Twitter, the Onward Master League Twitter. We'll be keeping you updated on all the information and when we're going live. I do appreciate you tuning in. Should be getting into this game relatively shortly. I think we're waiting on Fierce's team. Have a few more members to log in and we should be good to go. I'm gonna grab some water and then we'll see where we're at. gosh, that's my Discord. Tab. All right, looks like we're gonna have to do a little host switcheroo. We're having some tech difficulties there. So if you can give me 1 second here, I gotta set this up again. And sliding right back in. Should be hopping into this round shortly. Pretty much on schedule. 10-minute delay, that's not too bad. That's what we can limit it to. That ain't too bad. Let's just hope everybody can get in this time and we can get rocking and rolling. They have a new host. Let's see if that solves their troubles.
I'm here too. I'm here too.
Don't want to be hearing any of those comms, so we'll be popping out here. Moving you over to the gameplay so I don't forget. We do have Downfall. Downfall, one of the larger maps in Onward. Probably the largest map in Onward. I'm not sure Quarantine actually, in terms of square footage, is larger or not. It is one of the more open maps, though, as you can see. Basically, coverage being limited to walls, buildings, and the occasional slope. A tough map to cross unless you know how to do it tactically and you know positions of the enemy. We'll see how Ronin and Fierce deal with a lot of the traps that not so veteran players fall into. I don't think we should really see much of that, considering both these teams do have players that are veterans. Ronin's only been around, this is their first season playing. So it'll be curious to see if they can really step up to the challenge and stop Fierce on their 3-game win streak here. It's hard to shut a team down when they've been playing well and playing effectively against other teams. And Fierce has definitely proven that they're a competitive team that can play at a competitive level. So, Too Old, I think, knows that, and the members of Ronin are aware of that, and they should be hopefully ready for a competitive match against Fierce. I imagine they're going to have to work for a W on Downfall. Although this is their pick, so we'll see if it pays off. Fierce gets that Volk advantage, and they'll be leading into this map. Go. Bird the last to ready. Should be hopping in. I want to see something here. Interesting. I think we're going to look into implementing straw polls into chat. It would require you to download a Twitch chat add-on called BTTV. But basically, we could kind of poll chat, seeing who they think is going to win, if they're going to cheer for Ronin or Fierce, and we kind of get a chat opinion on things. I think that'd be a fun little way to include everybody there. We are going to get a real fast spawn here. Ronin is going to be getting what's commonly referred to as Old Marsoc. Marsoc spawn used to be back there by those tanks. But they're going to be able to really charge quick and fast up on this objective. We'll see if Fierce is ready for this kind of push. Sometimes you send members right up on top of this hill to be ready and aggressively pushing that. They are going to send some over to White House, which will be nice. They have that one floundering out in the open. We'll see if Lotus is going to get caught out. I don't know if he spots anybody up on that top of the hill. Does not, and he gets punished by Too-Old, being a little bit too exposed. We'll see if Vegas can answer back inside White House. Shots coming out from Sinbird up onto the hill. They do not connect. And that looks like Too-Old tucked in up there. No one from White House peeking. He almost gets one on the bottom. Doesn't get the trade. He goes down, tying it up 4-4. All the while, Foreign Duck Slap and the rest of this Marsoc team have managed to move their way north. See if they can come across Brett Truck. Foreign is going to get over there. Doesn't get spotted. We have a lot of movement going on in this Fierce squad. Sinbird really exposed. Over by this hill, he's playing super aggressively. If he can manage to rotate over to this north, the north guard here, he could really shut down this incoming push from Fierce. Or from Ronin, sorry. Yeah, and it looks like we did have a DC on Fierce's side. I think that was the one dead member, though, so we're still all even there. Actually, another pick did come out. Makes it 3-4. Knock inching his way up, checking White House, doesn't spot anything. And he's going to be kind of playing on the other side of the valley. The new position that I've started to see Marsoc squads take up more. What he might even do is get up on top of this hill and look for a better angle on the entire scene here. But he's got to pick White House first if he wants any hope of that. He's going to rotate out and try and go north or south Marsoc instead. Meanwhile, Sinbird really aggressively maneuvering up here. He might be able to catch two if he's lucky. Peeks and he sees both out in the open, exposed, and shuts them down. A fantastic maneuver by Sinbird. And Fierce are now up 4-1. The reconnect coming in there, not representing the proper kill count. It's all up to Neck up over here. He may be picked shortly by White House. That's Vegas in there, and he's just kind of sitting, watching Ravine, waiting for that final exposed moment to happen.
Canyon, last guy's in the canyon.
Call out coming from Vegas. He managed to spot him in Canyon. Peeks out, catches him, and that's a nice pickup for Fierce. Very smooth with 4 alive. They take an early lead 1-0. Again, Ronin is the home team, so this is their pick. They did go on a Marsoc. That's why I'm assuming that Fierce took Volk. Ronin picked the map. All the facts that I have are lining up to lead me to that. Also, if the audio of the game is too quiet, I can turn it up. It does look like it might be. There we go. That's much better. Huh. It was pretty quiet. Do apologize for that. But I am a quality production man here, and I pay attention to all the fine details and all the intricacies.
of my setup, and I make sure that everything is coming in at a crystal clear and delicious level for my audience on the VR Master League. And we provide nothing but quality experiences for you here, and that's what you get. So by golly, I hope you enjoy your time here. And while you're here, hey, hit that follow button if you haven't. Because gosh darn it, there's going to be a lot more Onward on this channel. I mean, heck, this is the Onward hub. Back to NightFiree.
Over here on the left side, we have the birds. It's quite an engaging race that's been going on between Alfredo and Luesta, the number 1 and 2, commonly known. They are aggressively pushing the pack, leading at a world record pace around the track. I've never seen such speed as this. Alfredo with some more aggressive flapping than Luesta, but by golly, we're going to have ourselves a quiet and quick race here today. If you are just tuning in, welcome to Birdtona 9000. A lot of people mistakenly refer to this game as Onward. In fact, it is a bird racing simulator. Alfredo Luesta competing for 1 and 2, duking it out, and I've never seen such aggressive moves from Luesta. She does not push ahead. Alfredo sees her on his back and gets aggressive, managing to keep his number 1. Well, that's right, Jerry. I've never seen such hectic action as this before. If you take a look at the back of the pack, you'll actually see Jonathan and Joan trying to get themselves up into a relative position, and it's just not working out for this pair. Just making a quick check. Everybody's still in this lobby. I can turn everything up a little bit here. Yeah, this should be good. And that was actually a pretty good audio test, so y'all let me know if it's too quiet or what. Should be back up, though. My voice should be pretty nice and high and tight, and the game should be a little bit louder. If it's still too quiet, let me know and we can turn it up. But we are into our second round. Fierce grabbing themselves an early lead. Too Old checking for that quick spawn. What you want to do here when you have this objective is make sure that you don't have that Fierce squad spawning right there on top of you. This is an interesting defensive smoke. Sri Lankan and Foreign using that to get inside the dark room. Meanwhile, Lotus and a few members of the team on Fierce rotating to North Building, North Hotel. This is kind of an interesting maneuver here. If you get caught out, it's going to be tough to push. And they actually managed to get one down on Ronin early. Knocked him getting picked. Take a quick look at their defensive spread here. You have Foreign on the outside, Olivia on the inside, and Sri Lankan. This is a nice defensive setup. They're covering pretty much all their angles on terms of capping. They don't really have any aggressive or forward-looking positions. It should prevent a potential pick, but it's going to allow Fierce to get right on top of them before anything happens. Oh, and this interesting. Foreign actually considering also posting up on the bottom story there. Take a look at some of these shots Too Old might have. He has some really nice tactical aiming there. He's got that turn sight. He's looking north hotel. I don't know if he's spotted anybody there. I think he might be shooting towards roof. Just letting out some rounds, kind of sending out some distractory rounds, if anything, but a flank is happening. It's going to be maybe a minute before anything else happens here, but Fierce do have free reign to move forward. This entire middle section of the map pretty exposed. The only one that's really watching is Too Old, and he's more focused here and here. Smoke's coming out middle. Lotus looking for that pick on roof. Lotus and Rush are very far back. 350 left. At this point, you kind of want to start advancing forward with your team, or you're really just going to be holding that position in the back. Sinbird and Dak Cracker are the ones that are going to be the most aggressively pushing on Fierce. I think they're going to wait for that pinch to happen up on North Hotel and South Marsoc. El Vegas looking for an angle, looking for a pick there. And he actually might be able to pick White House if he's looking closely enough. I just don't think he's going to peek that angle. Too Old is looking over there. The rest of the team has yet to move. They have 250 left. Still one over at North Marsoc, and he's going to start to rotate around now. Ooh, actually sending some rounds out towards White House. Maybe they're trying to draw some attention. It's really interesting to see Dak Cracker running night vision here as well. Sinbird setting out some suppressive rounds, and he's going to maneuver up and towards the middle hotel, middle 3-story. Some more suppressive shots coming out from White House. Olivio checking out the window area, looking for the stairwell push. Sri Lankan sees one come in the back end and sends out some rounds. Actually sees him in the street, and he's suppressed at the wall. I think he's still alive, though. Dak Cracker getting really heavily suppressed. He's managed to find himself a little slice of heaven. Meanwhile, Sinbird tries to make something happen. He gets punished up on the balcony there. Rush of Light. Meanwhile, look at this push. If he doesn't get caught up by Sri Lankan, the slash comes out. I think it catches Rush, and he goes prone behind the building. Meanwhile, Suppressive Fires comes out on the backside. Another's goes down. Now it's a 3v4. More suppressive rounds from Sri Lankan over towards that one tucked in the corner, and here comes the trades. Rush of Light looking for that one lucky angle, and he just can't quite get it from where he is. Meanwhile, Sri Lankan still suppressing over here by this brick wall here. That crack goes really tucked in tight and suppressed. He's trying to land some shots. Rush of Light, however, is still making his crouched approach. He might get caught up on the hill. He doesn't. Sri Lankan setting some suppressive rounds. Hits Rush of Light once. Rush of Light backing around the corner. Now he might run into Foreign. The shot's actually coming out. That's looking like a weak defense. Foreign still holding the inside. Olivio up top, not reacting quick enough. Foreign gets picked now. Rush of Light's on the bottom floor. Olivio has to get down there. Rush is going to get this cap. This will be 2. Olivio's hurrying. Rush hears him. Olivio rounds the trade. Now it's a 1v2. The last member alive. Too old to game, and he's making a real interesting approach. Might catch one out. Does get one. Looking for the second. Sees him there by the wall. Doesn't land the shots. He's crouched now. Has to get this pick here, or it's a cap, and he defends his objective. Too old. The reservist saving Ronin from a 2-point loss. And we have ourselves a game here. Ronin hanging in by the skin of their teeth. Let me know if the audio sounded better there. Man, that was a close, close objective. We have another south-based objective. Nothing really over on that north side yet. Ronin do have a north spawn, though. We'll see what they decide to do.
When I get, sorry, on the left of that white tower.
And this is all map knowledge here. What you see right now is movements that you know for sure you're not going to get hit doing. You know where the spawn is on this objective, so you know you can maneuver down into this crater safely without being spotted. From there, it does get a little challenging, though. You are going to have to manage to cross your street here. You're going to have to send out some smokes if you want to make it safely. You have to watch out for an aggressive defense in Middle Hotel. Watch out for a host of other potential options. Meanwhile, a really aggressive move from Lotus 122 here. He's already managed to make his way up to this south tank. Might get caught when he crowns this corner. Ooh, spots him peek there. Too Old, I think, does see him. The nade toss comes out. It goes behind him. This could be bad. Almost killed himself. Now he's going to have to dry peek this corner, and Too Old is camping it very aggressively. Nice pick. Too Old gets Ronin a nice early 5-4 lead. He doesn't secure it, though, and this might get his position called out to the rest of the enemy team. Kind of ruining his flank right here. Oren's trying to make something happen in that middle area, trying to send out some signal flares, maybe to the rest of that team. Sinbird, meanwhile, I mean, this team is really all over the place. Actually, Dak Kraka does get picked up there. Sinbird's going to try and go up and get the res. Almost gets shot when he goes in. Gets prone, and the syringe coming out onto Kraka. Popping up. There it is. The res comes out, and he instantly picked Ronin, now 5-3. Also making their moves. Too Old on this south side here. Olivio on the west. Over in this sector here, Olivio's looking over towards that middle hotel, making sure nothing is there. Meanwhile, shots coming out from Too Old. Suppressing members inside this house very nicely. Olivio is going to be able to get himself inside. Vegas should hear this. If Olivio tries to come up these stairs, he is going to run into Vegas. But I think he's going to opt for a bottom story look. Don't know if he's going to spot anything there. Too Old camping that north or South Marsoc Hill. Sri Lankan still looking for picks into that two-story he was looking earlier. Nectom's back into that far, far north hotel, and he's trying to do some Overwatch positioning. I think the move is starting to come out. Suppressive fire and Olivio, but this could get shut down very easily by Vegas if he's patient. Actually, Olivio comes up the stairs now. Vegas has to hear this. He doesn't round, he stays there. And Olivio goes back down the stairs. Olivio has no reason to suspect Vegas here, so he should be trying to make this push out into the middle. Smoke's coming out over towards Rush of Light. And it is now a 2v5. We have some disconnects, it looks like, coming out there. I wonder if that was a disconnect. I think it was. Olivio's pushing up. The suppressing fire. Can Vegas get him on the back end? He does. His patience paying off and shutting down a push. Now with only a minute left, they might start to scramble. If Vegas peeks up, he can catch Sri Lankan out in the middle of the road, and he might just do that. Sees him now. Shots come out. He tags another. Doesn't spot the one coming over towards objective, though. And Too Old might be the game winner. He does get caught in the back. Now 45 seconds left. A 1v2 Rush of Light has to get over towards objective, and he's not in a position to hold it. He's focused over towards foreign. Ronin are running low on time, though. 35 seconds left. Again, not a good position from Rush of Light. He's going to try and peek out. He grabs one. Rotates around back towards objective, and he's going to be looking for this final member pushing on objective. He's not careful. He gets inside, and he's in a very, very good position. 20 seconds left for Noctum. And I don't think he's looking at his clock thinking cap here. Yeah, he's taking his time, and he's not paying attention to his watch. Fierce are going to sneak away with a win. 3, 2, 1. Does he get picked at the end? No, he doesn't. Rush. What an insane thing to do with 3 seconds left. He peeks outside of his objective building room. Holy cow, what a maniac. Giving me an ulcer. Fierce grabbed themselves a win. Ronin almost managed to get that, though. Got to pay attention to that clock. Thank you for tuning in. If you are just stopping by, my name is NightFiree with 2 E's. I am your caster today. We have Fierce vs. Ronin. This is map number 1. And so far, Fierce kind of keeping their win streak alive. Keeping the lead 1-2. In our first map of the day. There is going to be more Onward tonight. After this, we have coming up, let me take a quick double check. Blaze versus Legionnaires. That's a pretty hyped match. Blaze has been playing very well this season and hasn't been cast on the Master League, to my knowledge. So I'm very curious to see how they face up against a very veteran team like Legionnaires. That'll be cast by Silent Knight and Steven. Be some good stuff right there. If you look close enough, you can see the bird race happening here. And in we go, the 4th round of the day. Fierce with a 2-1 lead. See what these guys can do about it.
until you're rushing to your spots. And that can, yeah. Alright, let's go.
It is a little risky here. Getting into some positions if you don't know spawn points. We'll see if they decide to send one up aggressively or not. They are going to put one inside. This is so interesting. They're really watching. I don't know. Sri Lanka. No one's inside objective room. Sri Lanka looking for a pick there, and I think now they know it's a northeast spawn 4 and is going to use that knowledge and get himself into a bit more forward position. Some long-range shots coming out from Noctum over onto that north 3-story. Some real long-range shots, not quite connecting. Lotus playing patty cake there, dropping in and out, popping into different spots, keeping the team guessing, kind of causing distraction, I think, is his main goal, it seems like. I don't think he's looking for any quick picks here. But if he is trying to distract, he's doing a damn good job. Too Old and a few other members of Ronin pretty focused on trying to get him. Sri Lankan now almost gets sniped as he spots an aggressive maneuver up the middle. He's getting suppressed. And the call out comes out. He should be ID'd pretty quickly by Foreign. He's in a position to shut down any aggressive maneuvers up this middle lane here. And he might grab himself a pick if he's lucky here. As the corner peak comes, he's not looking. And he doesn't see the one cross, so he's missing opportunities here. Instead, revealing his location for suppressive shots up in the North Hotel, where he thinks there's still one left, but they have since abandoned that Lotus. Now making his move east. Ooh, he gets caught out there. Sees one on the hill, and he just can't answer back. Ronin with an early pickup, 320 left, 5-4. He's going to pop out and reconnect. Rush of Light grabs one up on the north. Now it's a 4-4. Sorry, that's the south on the rocks there. Now it's a 4v4.
I just shot somebody at rocks. One down by rocks.
Vegas is getting sort of suppressed from bottom story, so he knows they're there. I just find it interesting that Ronin doesn't have anyone in objective building. It's not, even though it's so cliche, it's such a good spot to be. Inside that front objective room there. Ooh, another getting picked by Ronin. Not sure who that was, but they got him bottom story. It looks actually like Rush of Light manages to get that kill, and somehow he's managed to sneak his way around Duck. And he's pushing up the middle. If Duck peeks here, he should spot him. He sees him there. He does get him in the back. And now we're into a 2v3. Vegas, his remaining team member, Sinbird, in the back with a sniper rifle. Yes, Sinberg can make something happen with this. They need a pick if they want to balance the scales. He doesn't land the shot. Retreats back.
So we took 3.
Vegas here, bottom story, checking his pad. 53 seconds left. They're going to have to start something up here, or it's going to be a hard entry for Fierce. Ronin are defending the objective relatively nicely. Sri Lankan sitting there 2-story, watching it pretty well. They have White House as well. And their final member here on this other side might get caught as he crosses, and he does. 30 seconds left, though. It's a nice distraction. Sri Lankan getting a little antsy. 15 left. Sinbird's going to have to push a little bit more aggressively. Vegas now rotating quickly up the middle. I don't think he has time to cap here. Sinbird now rotates around, and Sri Lankan gets the final kill, and I think gets team killed in the back to tie it up 2-2. We have ourselves a bit of an all-out brawl, it feels like. A lot of early picks, maybe some over-aggression. I think that's what you kind of see on Downfall from time to time. Undisciplined teams, teams that are... Well, I don't know. I guess it's been happening more and more on Downfall in general, even with competitive with real veteran teams. You'll see really early picks or attempted early picks, guys looking for these sorts of long angles. They're not afraid to pop and peek, and against a real skilled team, doing stuff like that's a little bit more risky because eventually those shots connect, but that's all dependent on who's shooting. A little reminder, if you do see a good play or some action you like or a fun call or something funny that happened or anything really that tickled your fancy, hit that clip button, clip it, and then submit it to the Discord so I can watch it. I think there's also still a community run event around and creating your own video using this spectating feature or your own in-game footage. If you're interested in that, take a look again at the Discord or the Onward subreddit. Finally get our first north objective of the day, and it's going to be a quick spawn. Going to have immediate action here. Vegas and Rush of Light might get lucky and find themselves a pick or get caught out. Yeah, and they know the spawn comes out. Lots of shots early. They do manage to get across, and everyone on both sides is safe. Sri Lankan catches Fierce. One member of Fierce really getting aggressive.
One down.
Nade coming out. Doesn't quite land on him. 2-story. Not sure who threw that nade, but it was a long one. Sri Lanka now on the tip top of the roof looking for any sort of picks. Meanwhile, the rest of his team is sort of rotated around to this south ravine, and they're going to be making their way up there in a couple of minutes. But it will be North's responsibility to sort of maintain the attention and allow this south rotation to happen without much notice. Kind of see, too, a lot of fierce eyes focused over to the north. No one really looking south right now. Lotus is in a position to check south, but I don't think that's where his mindset is, and he can actually get picked on the back end if he's not careful. Another pick actually coming out onto Ronin, evening it up 4-4. Looks like Foreign gets caught out, and Sri Lanka now sending out some suppressive rounds towards objective.
Guys, what's going on here, man?
Interestingly, Sri Lanka worried about a flank. I don't think that's smoke he was really expecting. Not sure how that guy had died. He doesn't quite see the angle. .330 left, and you have 3 members of Ronin on this south end. 1 left on the north. Rush of light from this bottom floor. Not covering a lot. I think it's actually Lotus who's going to be the one that's going to watch the south approach if it does happen. I don't think he's doing that, though. I'm not sure where he's going. He's dropping back towards objective. It's going to open up south for this Ronin squad. If they want to take it, they have it. Too Old making his way up along this south side. Easily gets up into this 2-story. I'm not sure what he's looking for here. Maybe something into the middle hotel. .215 left. They got to again make sure they're checking their clocks. They're not moving fast enough. They're going to have a long way to cover still. Just missed that peak there outside the window. Oof, almost gets shot from North Marsoc there. I think Ronin has lost track of time. They have 1:45 and they're still very far back on the south. They have a lot of distance to cover if they want to get their way to objective. The only one that's close is Sri Lankan, but he's getting suppressed by all sorts of guys over here.
I'll distract him. He'll try and cap.
And Sri Lankan is really doing his job. Some shots out from the south, almost catching Lotus out. Ooh, he rotates around, doesn't look over here towards Olivio. Gets caught out. A nice pick from Too Old inside that dark room. 55 seconds left, Olivio. More shots coming out into the objective area. They don't connect. If he can get himself into that bottom story, he can cap. They have to be protective of that. Sinbird's watching. Vegas is watching. Vegas aggressively rotating out. Doesn't see it. Olivio now might get picked up from the bottom floor, and he does. It's now 2v2. 28 seconds left. Too Old now pushing. Doesn't spot Sinbird, who's tucked himself into a corner. Does catch him. He's now inside. He has 15 seconds left to punch in the code and cap. This will be the win for Ronin. 2 points, 4-2. Right here, he has all the time in the world, and he gets it. They lost their defensive end on the backside, and he got in and won himself the map. Ronin go up 4-2 on this first map in the series. That's a little bit of a comeback right there, if I had to say so myself. Whew.
Good job.
I think we are going on this one. Make sure I have the... I do have the teams right. Fierce will be going up on defense, and we are going into the burbs for our second map in this series. It's not quite what I expected to see. And I don't know if I would say it was tight gameplay, but I don't know. That was competitive. But it wasn't really like that, the highest form of competitive. They still managed to, some mistakes and some picks, I think, that just ended up costing that team. But not what I would think you'd see out of Fierce or Ronin. Both these guys, I mean, both teams very focused on winning. They want to have that MMR boost. They want to get higher in the matchmaking rating. They want to be ranked higher in the overall league standings. So they're focused. But I'm surprised Ronin managed to get 4-2 on Fierce there. A nice map pickup. A reminder that was Ronin's map choice. I think. Because now what we have here is Ronin again on Marsoc, so if this is Fierce choice, did Fierce pick Volk and Ronin took Suburbia? I don't know. Either way, we're hopping into the action. And Fierce will be defending a garage objective to start things off. Sorry, no, a middle house. This will be a fast one. Kind of curious to see what Ronin's going to be cooking up here for this middle objective. Going a little slow, some pre-fire coming out. Nades coming out, not too early, but they don't land. Kraka actually gets caught out by Carport, but he gets rezzed by Sinbird quickly.
He's in. He's past the first one. Where's he at?
Man, and look at how stacked up these Fierce guys are. They're all running around, peeking frantically. Another nade from Rush coming out over towards Fierce. Sorry, over towards Foreign. Kraka is rotated around. Foreign picks up one. Rush of Light gets Foreign. Too Old picks up Rush of Light. Kraka's going to be peeking this corner soon, and he's going to be looking for Too Old. He gets him crossing, but the trade, and now it's 3-3. 2-3 with two possible reses. I think they're going to get these pretty easily. Olivio is going to pick up foreign. Sri Lankan gets 2 old. All the while, though, an interesting flank is happening. Lotus is getting behind this team. And I don't know if Ronin are going to be watching for a flank here. But if they're not, it could be devastating. One almost gets picked out. He gets another. Doesn't quite shoot him in time. Noctum denies a really potential hard flank. And another res comes out. Nobody going down on Ronin today. El Vegas, the last one inside objective room. And he'll be charged with a monumental task. Sree's up, he gets picked. Toool's trying to cap on the stairs. Tool gets picked. Vegas almost gets shot from the backside. He's still alive, though. Foreign comes up and finally gets him. That was a real veteran move from Toool there to try and get them a cap on the stairs. I think we have... No, that was the first round. Right? Waiting on Lotus to ready up here. We'll see what Fierce can do to answer back, but that was a very strong round from Ronin. Curious to see who's going to come out on top here. Teams are in. An aggressive push on the west side gets Sinbird up early. Ooh, Foreign getting one into the side, not going down though. Noctum is tucked in here and he is watching for Sinbird. Sinbird taking shots to the 2-story in the back actually. I think he's doing some suppressive shots through the wood. Noctum hears that and he's got his attention. A nade, a flash, a smoke. Another flash. I think everybody's flashed. I don't think Sinbird can see a thing. Kraka and Lotus getting free cross up the middle here. Too old with the call out. One gets picked there by Sinbird. More suppressive shots coming out into the middle. Olivio going down. I think that might have been a team kill on the backside. Sri Lankan now in bottom floor. This could be bad for Too Old. Ooh, boy. Wow, Knock getting a pistol kill on the backside, the other getting picked up on the porch in the front, but meanwhile, Vegas and Lotus have rotated over towards the tank, and they get one up on the 2-story. They get another on the backside by APC. Now it's just Too Old inside. The 3v1 fierce advantage. Lotus now gets caught out on the stairs. Too Old with a nice pick. Ooh, Too Old peeking up the 2-story, and he gets caught out by Vegas. Fierce tying it up 1-1. If you are just tuning in, this is the second map of the day. Going to be coming up on our third round of the map, but Ronin managed to take Downfall 4-2. We're tied up 1-1 on Suburbia now. Thank you for tuning in. If you are just tuning in, also hit that follow button. We're around streaming Onward quite often on this channel, so if you like it, this is where you're going to get more of it. If you don't like it, then you can just get out. Man, these between rounds taking their time. Too Old maybe dispatching his mini plays to this Ronin team. We are into our third round. It is again a south objective. This time it is garage. We'll see what Fierce can do with this. Too Old 4-2, Vegas 5-1. Sinbird with some pre-fire, and Ronin are actually playing this one rather slow. I don't know if I'm a big advocate of the Marsoc slow play. We'll see how it pays out for them. But that is what they're doing. They're waiting for any aggressive maneuvers by this Fierce Volk. They're just kind of seeing. Anyone's going to come out and cross. Ooh, Ronin catches one in the chest there underneath the Humvee. Not a bad throw from Noctum. I think that's where he wants it in that lane. Sinbird, though, is aggressively pushed up. He may be able to catch this rotation out if he's lucky. Wow, and he's got a really interesting angle there. I think actually one goes down. No, crack up. Sinbird pops up and catches one. One went down in middle lane. It looks like a trade happened in middle lane. Now we got 3 at Park making their way up toward objective. Ooh, and actually a team kill on the backside. Olivio was really guarding his flank. And I think the rotation happened here. He rotated around the back. He came up this way, came in from behind Olivio, and Olivio picked him. And now we have a 2v3. Toold's gonna opt to go back behind. Olivio's gonna go up the middle. Reaching out there, going to be cannibalizing the enemy's toolkit. Whoa! Really tight angle there. Must have spotted something. Man, I don't know. That was almost a shot through the floor, maybe? That was interesting. No, because he definitely saw him, so that's a pick on the stairs, I guess, and here come the smokes. I don't think those are well placed, though. Well, actually, they are on objective. Ooh, trades with Vegas. Now we have a 1v1. Rush of Light, the last alive, prone. Waiting for that cross, so a minute left now for Toold. And this is the spot to be. If Rush of Light just stays prone and stays there, he'll be okay, but he's second guesses himself. He's maybe concerned someone's inside capping. And he goes back to his defensive position, rightfully so. .34 seconds left now. Toold, 30 seconds. He knows he's low on time, and he's playing aggressively. He might be able to catch one in the back here, and he does. He misses the shots. Almost gets picked up. Toold saves the day, though. Ronin with this reservist pickup. 5-2 and 1. He is really carrying this Ronin squad. Vegas, meanwhile, 6-2, trying to carry his Fierce team to a victory. Sri Lankan and Dak Kraka and Lotus underperforming on their squads. They need to step it up for these next rounds. Oh, we were ready to go right into that next round for a second. And here we go into our 4th round. Second map of the day. Ronin lead 2-1. They've taken the first one 4-2. early pre-fire. Doesn't catch anybody out. Nothing up the middle, and Kreka managing to make a real early entry to cut out by Too Old. Sinbird does get across, though. He should be looking over there. Too Old peeks, gets caught out. Sinbird with a nice refrag, 4-4. Lotus and Noctum trading some blows. Noctum misses a nice flash right on top of him. Sinbird answering, and Sinbird gets caught out by the one in Garage, Sri Lankan. Answering back, Rush of Light grabs himself one. Lotus trying to rotate his way around to Carport. Garage going down. Here's the bottom story rotation, gets picked up though. Olivio playing real aggressively, grabs Rush of Light. That's 2 for him. Now it's a 1v1. Vegas and Olivio. Olivio has to get some reses off here if he wants. Vegas is the last man alive. Olivio the last on Ronins. I think he's trying to get a res up, but that is not the right teammate. Now he crosses, doesn't get spotted by Vegas. Back into the garage, and now I think he's going to get the res, and he does 2v1. Has all the time in the world though. 350 left. He can go come around, scavenge a teammate, grab some more smokes, maybe try and smoke out objective, cause a little bit of a distraction, a little chaos, get a pick. Doesn't get caught out. 2-story, and the res comes out, making it 3-1. Just proning his way through this middle building. Might be able to catch 1-2 story. I think he sees the head. Takes the shot, grabs one. Really nice one tap there. I think Sri Lankan saw that shot though, and he's looking. I guess he's looking for who took it. I don't think he has the angle though. Minute 30 left. Vegas goes back prone and on the move. Minute 10, he's pushing up towards tank. Still has some nades left. I think that's a frag. That's smoked, though, right on top of Sri Lankan. That's going to give away his position. We'll see if Vegas can get a pick here. 55's like and slash. Sri Lankan covered in smoke. Doesn't see the cross. Doesn't get caught. The shots come out. Vegas rotating back around, stopping Sri Lankan from doing this. Sri Lankan comes out on the corner, and Vegas finally gets the kill. Now it's a 1v1. Vegas going to try and come around the backside and cap on Olivia. Olivia waiting for him to round the corner, and he does get picked up. A very nice defensive hold. Ronin now 3-1. Looking to take the series point right here. Olivio stepping up there. Vegas still carrying his squad 8-3. Too old 6-3. Ronin playing pretty good so far today. Too old, that reservist pickup looking very nice, very integral component. I wonder if just because he feels loose, doesn't have that team tie down, he kind of play a little bit freely. Maybe he's just getting out there, getting some aggressive picks. I'm not sure, but it's paying off. Not too old to carry. Ain't that the truth? I think we're all readied up. We're hopping into what could be the final round of this second map. Ronin leading 3-1. Another slow approach. Ronin taking that really defensive, passive, slow play maneuver here. Too old almost gets caught out. Struggles of getting 100% tracking in every angle you hold.
Everyone, small house, second floor. He was on left a second ago.
We are looking at the most forward-pushed member of Ronin, Too Old, holding up that red truck. The rest of that team sitting behind him.
Coming up on for you. Alright, what's up, Ronin?
345 comes out. Too Old actually makes the call, and the smokes are ringing out. Some pre-fire coming in on the lanes. Sinbird getting up inside the smokes. The rest of this team over by playground area, and Too Old managing to get up into an advantageous position. Might be able to find Vegas through the bushes. One going down on the backside. Lotus getting out of position. Gets caught by Olivio, but not down. Does get finally down. Vegas should be looking here. Gets Sinbird. That's a team kill. That's not what you want. That gives away his position to Olivio. Now it's a 2v5. 2 are resable though. Ooh, getting picked up on the back end through the smoke by Foreign. Not looking good for Fierce. The one left alive. Rush of Light now outside. Pushing on to objective. Too Old is trying to punch in the code. Gets stopped by Rush, keeping it 3-1. The Rush of Light is really out of position. More shots from Sri Lankan to suppress. Olivio finally picking him, and now that's Ronin taking the map. Taking the series, 4-2-4-1. We'll go into this final map still playing it out. The way that the scoring works here, if you win the series, you win the MMR boost. If you lose the series, you lose MMR. How much MMR you win and lose is all determined on how many points you win or lose. Where we're at right now, Ronin are looking pretty good on a nice MMR gain here. This is still their, actually this is their second game, so this is their matchmake. After this, they'll get their MMR rating. And so to have this kind of game against Fierce, who have won 3 games in a row and are 4-3 in the season, it's pretty nice. They're doing pretty well here. Fierce definitely got to kind of step up and try and get this map if they want to lighten that blow to their MMR. Final map is going to be Tanker. Should be exciting, should be hectic. Kind of expect Too Old to shine bright like a diamond on this map, but we'll see what happens. Just waiting on one more member of Ronin to hop in here. Little reminder, we are just tuning in. In T-minus 1 hour, we're going to be having Blaze versus Legionnaires cast by Silent Knight and Steve. Trying to coordinate that game actually right now. I think we have everything sorted out for that match, though. Still waiting on that last member of Ronin. Should be any minute now. Nice. Whoa. Wow, this is a good opportunity for Fierce to get this map. I think Ronin are opting to play this with 4. Maybe they've lost their 5th member. Either way, Fierce can get some easy points back here. Shots coming out. Vegas pushing up into that tunnel. Flash on a 2-ult gets him good, and he drops back. Ooh, 2-ult's gonna try and toss a nade up and over. I don't think that's gonna land on anyone. Go back to peeking the tunnel and see it's smoked. Rush has managed to get his way out. A flash coming out. I think that was on Olivio. A nade comes out, almost lands. Sinbird pushing up aggressively inside. Doesn't catch 2-ult. He doesn't get seen. The smoke denying vision. Sinbird rotates around, gets 2-ult, gets picked up in the back by Olivio. A trade happens over on that east. And now it's a 3v2. Ronin, opting into the 4v5, only have 2 left. Rush of Light has free access here. I don't think he knows that. He's prone, but not in a very tactical way. I think if he knew his body was prone like this, he wouldn't be holding that angle because he's super exposed. Silenced P90 though, that's interesting to see. Might catch Foreign, sees him, takes him out. This information for Olivio to work off, but it is going to hurt him on the backside as Vegas comes up. He might go unseen on this approach on the back end. What's that smoke? He is intrigued, but it is a 1v3. They time it right. Rush of Light could get up there. I think he's going to get picked here. He does. Now Olivio. Real heavy breathing. Vegas goes prone, gets picked up. Now it's a 1v1. Olivio holding his own. I think Kraken knows he's here, though. He's looking. This guy needs to relax. That's giving away his position. Surprised Crack is not moving on that. Maybe he can't hear that breathing from here. 213, he has plenty of time. I think he knows that Olivio's there. He just doesn't see him, so he's really questioning himself. Yeah, Crockett has to hear Olivio. Sees the gun barrel. Gets the pickup. Fierce go 1-0. An early lead. I'm really surprised they'd opt into a 5v4 with your MMR, with your game that's going to determine your MMR. You want to grab all the points you can, but I don't know. They're going to be giving these to Fierce, in my opinion. Fierce is going to be always going into a 5v4 advantage. Maybe they're not really opting into the 5v4. They probably just don't have time to go and get another, and they don't want to give it a full forfeit. So you might as well play it 5v4. It's just unfortunate they've lost their 5th member in the middle of a round. Thought that was a cat for a second. Just kind of doing a little perusing of the map, seeing if we can find any little hidden trinkets. So far, I'm not seeing any. How does anybody get in or out of this crate prison? My question. Seems to be no point of... here we go. Maybe you can open up this fence and go in. Here we go. 4v5. 5v5. They managed to grab themselves a 5th. That's good. Maybe they were using timeouts and such throughout the rest of this game already. Maybe they had some other tech difficulties and they couldn't use them again, so they just went. Either way, Ronin now back up to a full 5-man roster. Some early shots coming out up the middle. No one goes down. Lotus gets aggressively pushed forward in a real early defense. 1 going down for Fierce, but 2 in the process. Lotus rotating backside, back around. Lots of frags coming out. Frags and flashes. Sinbird pushing up aggressively. Coming up behind. Foreign gets 1, gets 2. Those are confirmed. Now Ronin are down to 1 left, and Fierce said that 5th member does not mean anything. Knocked him. Is that 5th one? He is the last alive. We'll see if he can weather the fierce storm. Gonna have his work cut out for him. Ooh, a nade comes out towards Nock. And he gets caught. That nade radius just barely catching Nock. Fierce go up 2-0. A nice nade. It gets them the lead a little bit more. Still going with a 5v5 now. We're back to a full roster here. We'll see if Fierce can manage to grab themselves a cap.
Everybody sit back.
Early shots, no early nades. Livio checking tunnel, 2 old. Watching the middle, the nade catches 2. Very well placed. One getting caught out by Nock. Another getting caught out by 3. Just like that, we're into a 3v3. The 2 reses coming out on Olivia and 2 old should remedy that. Olivio's holding tunnel. Sri Lankan's watching Rush of Light. He gets picked. Olivio's pretty exposed to Rush on this backside now. He doesn't get pushed. It's now a 4v2. Olivio snags one with a quick turn shot in the tunnel, and now 1v4. On board Rush of Light. We'll see what he can do. He's trying to get a res through the wall. I think this res is pretty risky if he comes out to get it. He gets flashed, though. Still has 4 minutes. Plenty of time to get out there and get it. Doesn't go soon, he's going to be in trouble. The res comes out. More shots coming. Ah. Excuse me. I almost died. I'm fine. Whew. Ronin managed to grab themselves 1. Hanging in there. Olivio and Sri Lankan carrying their weight.
Right now on the Twitch. That's against the rules, right? Well, it's not. The ghost to swim? Sprinting, it takes 10 seconds just to get there.
Man, these guys really don't know how streaming works, huh? You're always run on an ethical 6.5 minute delay so that an entire round is behind. You get no information, you see nothing, and you actually get no advantage, so if anybody is watching, they're watching old footage. They're watching a replay, basically, of themselves. Yeah, you can go in and look at how you died from a nade if you wanted to see that, sure. But you cannot get any information real time. If people thought that we were that stupid, they really underestimate. The Master League. Sinbird aggressively pushing into the middle. One gets picked off by Ronin. Kraka gets answered back. The refrag from Too Old. Sri Lankan's inside tunnel. I think he's worried about getting pushed by Lotus. He is. Lotus now inside. Picks him up on the backside. Sinbird pushing up. Gets picked up by Olivio. Lotus pushing it up aggressively towards Olivio. Olivio hears the footsteps. He gets picked anyway. Too Old hears this. Doesn't catch. Does catch Lotus. Rotating back inside. We'll see if Rush heard Too Old in those movements. He is the last. No, he's 2 more alive on Fierce. Ooh, Too Old getting a nice kill on Rush of Light. Now Vegas, the last one, sitting back on objective, holding and defending. Smoke just cut off.
You. Hear you in there. You have to lie to me. Hear that? Got my gun ready.
Ooh, Vegas peeking out. Sees that flash and comes out, gets the tag. Now it's a 1v1. See if Noctum can pull it off. Does get picked up. Vegas gets himself another round. Fierce are up 3-1. You're just tuning in. That's the score. Ronin up 4-2 on that first map on Downfall, 4-1 on Suburbia on 1-3 now on Tanker. Fierce are trying to get some points back under their belt. Looks like Fierce are down a man. There's some fun tech diffs. Man, these times between rounds are freaking ridiculous. I will say this again, I've been saying it almost every cast that we have been casting. There needs to be a limit, and between round time, it is getting way too long. I think we're waiting still for a member of Fierce, but like, let's go, man. Finally, into our what could be final round of the night. Fierce with a 3-1 lead going on the Marsoc offensive.
See that metal cage on the right side of it? If you're facing objective, the right side.
Oh, I'm taking the,
Yeah.
okay.
I'll be here waiting for you to come out.
Ooh, they do manage to get across. No pre-fire comes out. Vegas does get up there aggressively. I think he gets spotted by Too Old, though. Like to call out. Meanwhile, Olivio grabbing himself 2 up the middle. He's looking for Rush of Light for his 3rd. Oh, Olivio charging the shield. Doesn't get it. Rush of Light with the pistol shot. A nade comes out on this end. Downs El Vegas. Too Old confirms the frag. Ooh, Too Old rotating around, tries to face off against the shield, gets picked up. Now it's all up to Rush of Light going up the tunnel. He should get caught out by Sri Lankan if he's holding his angles. Yeah, he does get one on, nope. Tried to get one on the backside, but couldn't. Ronin going ahead and picking up another round, keeping themselves in at 3-2. I'm going to go to the bathroom. If this angle doesn't cast the action, I'm sorry. Pretty good angle. But I'm back in time. Ooh, one going down on Fierce pretty early. Ronin trying to make this comeback happen. 4v4 though. Sri Lankan and Siddenberg. Olivio getting caught out by a nade. Too Old pushing up. Does get one. Now it's a 3v2. Another trade happening in the middle lane. Ooh, Too Old catching another rotation. Now it's a 2v2. The red's going to come out on the backside, making it 3v2. Picking himself up a syringe and making his move with Olivio up the middle. It's going to be up to Rush of Light. There was an objective El Vegas, I think, who's prone there, waiting for Foreign to make his move. Oh, gets picked by Foreign. The nade on the backside. Ronin stay in this 3-3. Gonna come down the final round of this really toxic objective. So easy to catch angles and whatnot. Ooh, Tool getting a pick on that main lane.
Objective, watch objective.
Tool peeking, doesn't catch any. It is a 4v5 though. He's rotating back towards objective. Orin trying to make something happen here with some suppressive fire. Foreign picking up another one. A nice headshot. Sinberg gonna peek out the back, gets the refrag. 3v4 now. I think Olivio has an idea of where Sin is. Be hard for him to exit Lotus. Making his move up, catches one on the backside, gets refragged. Now it's a 2v2. Sinbird and Nock, the last two alive. Gotta stay tight on objective. Sorry, Sri Lankan and Nock, rather. Rush of Light pushes up, catches 3. 2 go down just like that, and Fierce go ahead with the map win. Lightening their blow to their MMR, but ultimately losing the series 2-1. And actually, it's the other way around, and that was Cargo. Thank you for pointing that out. Very much. That will be it from me tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you did enjoy the cast. A nice little duel here between Ronin and Fierce, but ultimately Ronin proving to be the dominant team. Tooled a nice pickup from the reserves, from the reservists rather, and he ended up playing very well for this squad. If you are looking forward to more Onward, stick around. We have Legionnaires and Blaze coming up in 30 minutes on this channel. That should be pretty exciting. Blaze have not had any matches cast. They are on a 3-game win streak. They have not lost a match yet. They beat Animal House 13-5. So I'm curious to see how they fare against SMC Tactical, a much more veteran squad. Should be an exciting match. I kind of want to cast it with Silent. I'll see if I can squeeze my way in there. Steven will relinquish it to me. Either way, it's going to be cast. It's going to be here, so look forward to it. T-minus 25 minutes now. That'll be it from me. My name's NightFiree with 2 E's. Thanks for tuning in. Go follow me on Twitch. I play a lot of Warframe. That's all I got. Peace!